Hello, how are you guys all doing today? I hope you're doing well. Just real quick, I've been sick for the past couple of days, so this AMA might be a little shorter than usual. I may be talking a little bit more faintly. My throat hurts, a little bit low on energy, a little fatigued, but it is Monday. I have to do an AMA. It's not that I have to, I want to. I enjoy doing them. I've been kind of out of commission for a couple of days, and I kind of need to do something other than lay in bed and mope around. So I hope you guys are all doing good today. Maybe we can call this, hopefully you can hear me all right. Call it a Big Pay ASMR. But yeah, we've got some interesting information to go over today. We have the recent ledger hack happened. But real quick, before we jump into this AMA in this video, if you guys want to support me, the best way you can do so is by delegating to Bloom. We have Bloom through Bloom 6. Bloom is actually the 8th block in Cardano mainnets. We've been here since the beginning and we'll be here till your end. So I really appreciate you guys watching this today. Also, if you just left a like on this video, click that notification bell and then clicked all. I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world. Hopefully it'll help me get over my sickness faster. But real quick, we'll go over here and see how you guys are all doing today. Steve said, what up, Big Pay Posse? What's up, Steve? Thanks for coming by, man. Braveheart Stake Pool, thanks for swinging by. Steve said, taking a hit on ADA today, but all the long-term players ain't no thing. Yeah, what hit today, man? No one was even paying attention. It happens, you know, but it'll go down and it'll go up. Not financial advice, but I'm here for the long haul, man. Sonny said, so what's with the ledger? We'll be getting into that in just a second. I wanted to say hi to everybody real quick. Braveheart said, hey, pool running great. Just need that first block. Yeah, that first block takes a minute, man. Sonny said, isn't that news from a while ago or something new? It's something new, actually. Nicola said, yo, what's up, man? Steve said, sorry, bro. Hope you feel better soon. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Braveheart Stakepool said, all good, Pay. Hope you feel better. Thanks, man. Antonio said, I'm on Bloom. I'm on Bloom too. Thanks, man. Tomas said, get well soon. I appreciate it. What's up, Dope Fiend? Thanks for coming by. Antonio said, did you get COVID? No, I did get tested for COVID and it was negative. So I think it's, I just think it's something else. I think it's just a little throat cold, a little something of sort. Yeah, my COVID test was negative. So I think I'm good to go on that. You know, I'm still being careful, but I have a gluten intolerance. I think I might have one as well. But let's get into this ledger news real quick after I take a drink. But yeah, it has been a little bit rough on me. I've lost probably about 7 pounds in 2 days. It's pretty crazy. Let me pull up the stream. All right. So information about this ledger hack. Okay, so this is from Ledger's Twitter. Today we were alerted to the dump of the contents of a Ledger customer database on Raid Forum. We're still confirming, but early signs tell us that this indeed could be the contents of our e-commerce database from June 2020. We are aware of this data breach, alerted the authorities, our users, and have been fighting downstream attacks ever since. For more information on this breach, please see our original entry in our FAQ. And this is the FAQ right here. It is a massive understatement to say that we sincerely regret the situation. We take privacy extremely seriously. Avoiding situations like this are a top priority for our entire company. I mean, I would hope so, man. You know, we all use Ledger to kind of store our crypto, you know, store our assets that have value. So I would hope so. We have learned valuable lessons from this situation and will make Ledger even more secure. Since July, we have done everything possible to make Ledger stronger for the future. We have hired a new Chief Information Security Officer, CISO. We are further hardening our strong systems and have thoroughly reviewed our data policy. We have executed penetration tests and forensic analysis with external security firms to test these and find any additional vulnerabilities on our e-commerce systems. We are continuously working with the law enforcement to prosecute hackers and stop these scammers. We have taken down more than 170 phishing websites since the original breach. We have notified the French Data Protection Authority regarding the data breach, and we are working with other data protection authorities across the world Our customer support team is working 24/7 to answer your questions. And then I'm going to read this last part here, and then I'll kind of explain what the hell they're saying. So most importantly, never share the 24 words of your recovery phrase with anyone, even if they are pretending to be a representative. Ledger will never ask you for them. Ledger will never contact you via text messages or phone calls. So that's why this is a really big issue. So there was a data leak at Ledger, and the data leak means that, let's say you purchase something from their website, you put your phone number in, your address, your name, so they know everything about you that Ledger knows about you. However, when you hold a Ledger device, let me switch back to full. So when you have a Ledger device, all of those keys, the private keys, they're all on the Ledger device itself, right? So when you go to do a transaction, all that, let's say your Roy or any other wallet sees, is your public key, right? And then what you do on the device itself is you use your private key that's hidden on the device to sign it, right? So the only way for them to ever steal your funds is if they get access to those private keys, but they can't because they're on the device. However, if you were to share your 24 words right here, so share your 24 words of your recovery phrase, then that gives someone access to all of the private keys that are on your device. So it's very important when you hear about these hacks, you hear about this, and you're always worried about your funds, to just know to never share your recovery phrase, whether it's ADA, whether it's Ledger, never share that recovery phrase. That's essentially the master key, the skeleton key to all of your funds. So you just want to make sure you guys keep that safe. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, like, I've heard this a million times before, but it is really important. There are a lot of new people coming to the community, and although it does suck that your data was breached, maybe your name, your address, your email, but what's most important is the funds on your ledger, right? So never share those 24 words with anyone, right? Not if it's me, not if it's Ledger, not if it's anyone, right? Those stay yours no matter what. No one will ever need them to accomplish anything or to help you with anything, or if you were hacked. So it really does suck to see this happen, though. It's the first one I saw was actually Capital One. There was a big Capital One breach, and that's everything, man. That's social security cards, that's credit cards, that's names, that's addresses, that's any information that you could think was leaked, with the Capital One. And then also any of the information you've given with Ledger was leaked. And this is why I wish that, because we all use the internet, I wish we moved towards a more dataless time, right? Not dataless, but a dataless time, where when I sign up for a website, to order, let's say I want to order a pizza, I want to get my Cardano pizza. And, think about all the information you have to give them: your name, your phone number, your email, your date of birth, the size of your penis. It's pretty ridiculous, man. Every website that you go to, you have to give them all of this information, right? So, if you play it like a probability game, I tell the pizza everything. I tell the other pizza place everything. I tell another pizza place everything, because all I do is eat pizza every night because I'm fat. Eventually one of those pizza restaurants is going to get hacked, right? And then there goes all of your data. And all it takes is once. So when the internet runs on data, and every website you use gets your IP address, your phone number, your name, and everything about you, we just move towards this society where anyone can get information on anyone. And it's very unfortunate, and I wish that we would have thought a little bit more about this, because it seems pretty clear that that's going to happen as soon as it happens, when literally the U.S. government can't handle these data breaches. Did you guys hear about the PPP loans? It was either the PPP loans or the EIDL loans, and every single person that applied for the EIDL loan had all of their business information leaked, their social security number, their name, and this is a government website, right? So if you have the government that literally can't handle people's, the government was just hacked too. If the government cannot handle people's data and the importance of people's data, then how can we expect all of these private companies to do it as well? It's not like I give the government some importance, right? But the government has a lot of sensitive data, so they should have some value and some importance to them, right? But yeah, man, it really sucks. And The only way this is going to get fixed is if we somehow move towards a dataless society, or, you know, like with what IOG is doing, they're having the Atala Prism stuff, and the Atala Prism stuff is a way to give people your data without having them actually save it, right? So you have a private key and a public key behind your data, your identity, you know, and you can have a less so identity, right? You have a pizza identity that you use to order food, and that pizza identity is just your number, your address. And then the only way the pizza can see that is if they sign the transaction. It's available until it's delivered, and then it's gone, right? So I really hope society sees the issue and the error in its ways, and we move away from this. But that's really all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit, and we can get to the AMA. I'm a little slower today, if you haven't noticed. Or I don't need to switch that. Yeah, there's my slowness. STG said, seriously, it's a security company. I hope someone sues them. I mean, yeah, I agree, man. Jay Colkin said, yeah, class action for sure. I agree. C said, I feel for those impacted by this. I would be livid. I mean, I might be one of the ones in this, but I mean, it's an everyday thing at this point, man. I use the internet every day, you know, and out of all the sites I've signed up for, how many of them have leaked my information? I mean, at least probably 10%. Jay Colkin said, why didn't they explain why they kept everyone's info? That's what I want to know. Because they want it. They want our data, man. STJN said, I'll have to secure my home now. You should have already had your home secured in the first place, man. Jay Colkin said, when I got by something in the mail, they never keep my info. Most places keep your info. I'm scared someday criminals will show up, even though I don't have much money. Hey man, I know exactly how you feel. I mean, I'm the Cardano YouTuber here, you know, so I know where you're coming from, man. Julian said, hey Pay, what's up? I haven't seen the start of the videos. Are my ledger funds in danger? Your ledger funds are not in danger as long as you don't share that recovery phrase with someone, but the data that you've given to ledger may be in danger, so make sure you're careful with that. Danny Haystack said, hello. Hey community, what's up, man? Hello. Asso said, will I send today my ADA again to ledger? It's safe. I use ledger with ADA Lite. Yeah, your ledger's still safe, man. Your data was just stolen. You're good unless you give up your 24 words. That's the only way anyone can ever give your funds. So if someone comes asking for those 24 words, make sure you don't give them to them. Then you're a weenie. Yes, I'm drinking out of a blender cup because it's the only cup that can satisfy my thirst. Steve said, I done ordering pizza. Jeez, lol. Yeah, man. I know what you mean. JD Hedberg said, hey, Pay. ADA had testing 200 MA support on a 4-hourly chart. Currently retesting it. If it keeps holding, it looks probable that we might bounce up and breach 0.2. What's your thoughts? I'm not a trade guy, man. I mean, I think it would be beautiful for it to breach 0.2, but I don't know. I'm not a trade guy. I appreciate your analysis, though, man. Asso said, okay, no problem, man. Daniel said, this hack only applies to purchases before June, right? I mean, that's what, I'll go ahead and take a look again, but that's kind of the vibe that I got from it. I think it said prior to June. James said, made a meme video with Bloompool in it, releasing it tonight or tomorrow. Is there any way to send it to you directly? You can just send it to me on Discord, James. If you upload it and keep it private, I'll be able to see it before. Or if you kind of send a Dropbox link or something, or I would prefer Discord, though. Crystal said, you sound sad. I'm not sad. I'm just a little sick. I have something in my throat. But I can't miss my Monday AMA, man. Maria said, if you're impacted, they sent you an email. I know. I don't think they sent me one, so maybe I'm cool. I'm clear. Oh, I also have a website in the description. Let me see what it's called. So the link in the description, it says, "Have I been pwned?" I have check if your data was exposed. You can actually use that website to see if your data has been publicly released. So I hope that helps, guys. Steve said, "Do you see the new proposed fencing rules?" Are you talking about with the U.S. government, Steve? I saw a little bit about it. I couldn't find a good article, though. Nicolo said, "I just got 2 questions first. Do you know if the ERC20 converter will be integrated into Daedalus, and what projects do you know of building on KEVM?" Okay. So your first question is, will it be integrated into Daedalus? And I think what you mean by that is, can you convert your ERC20 token in Daedalus? And I think the answer to that would be no. I think it'll probably be a website from IOG at first, right? It's going to be this kind of private thing run by IOG, as a third party. And then you kind of have to get on there and sign up to be converted over. But then following that, I mean, I know it's open source, right? So I don't think it's going to be in Daedalus, but those tokens that are brought over on the ERC20 converter will be in Daedalus. And what projects do I know of building on the KEVM? Most recently, I just heard of Liquid. Liquid was originally going to do it in Marlow, but they've now decided to move over to KEVM using Solidity. So that's really interesting. But that's the only project off the top of my head. Remember, my head is a little foggy today. Malky said, "Can my ledger be hacked?" Your ledger can never be hacked as long as you never give out that 24-word recovery phrase. That is the skeleton key, right? Your private keys are all on that device. Ledger doesn't have that device. So even if Ledger is a bunch of weenies, they can't steal your funds, right? So unless you give them that phrase. So never give that phrase to anyone, even if they're trying to help you. Malky said, "Do I need to buy another ledger and transfer my funds?" No, you do not. JD Hedberg said, "The amount of ADA that is good to have is totally dependent on your own taking capability." Yeah, that's a good answer to that. Only own as much crypto as you're willing to lose, man. I followed that my whole life. My whole small life that is about to come to an end from this throat disease. Big throat cough, swamp throat. All right. Yeah, I did hear a little bit about that fintech news. I don't know about the details, but one thing I thought was nice was to see Bitcoin reach an all-time high after they announced it. But let's see if I can go here and see if I can get some juicy details. Yeah, see, I wonder how many exchanges would even want to deal with that, Michael Lester said, "Hey, Peyton, you should stay off the Benadryl." I'm not on the Benadryl, man. I'm actually just sick, so I'm talking real slow. I kind of have imagine this is my audio, right? If I talk over that, I get throat pain. And if I talk fast, I get throat pain. So I have a limit, I have a distortion limit. Michael said, "You're about 200% below your normal speed." I agree, man. I feel it. No Dayquil. All I've had of me today is some lion's mane, some ibuprofen, and some magnesium, and some vitamin D. I wish I had some vitamin D liner or vitamin C lying around the house. But yeah, I don't know if exchanges are going to be able to actually enforce that. And if they're not, I think they're just going to make everybody stay on the exchange. But yeah, I don't really know how to do that. STIJN said, "Are you gay?" I'm not gay, man. I am heterosexual. But there's nothing wrong with being gay. If I loved it in the ass, I'm sure I would tell you. Kritzel said, "How does the stimulus check work in the USA? Do you get $600 for us Dutch people?" That sounds crazy. Yeah. So the next check, I think if you're under a certain dollar limit, you'll get $600. I mean, it sounds crazy to you guys, but it sounded pretty crazy to anybody else in the United States before this time. But yeah, I would Google it. So I haven't read it yet. But yeah, they just send you a $600 check in your bank. And we've never had anything like that in the history, that at least as long as I've been alive in the United States. So it was pretty weird to get. We got a $1,200 one earlier. It really just depends on the country, because I've heard Canada's been getting a $2,000 check since the close down per month, right? So it just depends on your country, right? I mean, we had a lot of corporate welfare, so you guys are giving me laughy faces. What are the laughy faces for? Oh, it was probably the "Are you gay" comment. I wasn't trying to be funny, man. I was just trying to be honest. It's all about transparency here, man. I think that's the second time I've gotten that question. What gaming chair is that? I got this years ago. Yeah, my brain's too foggy. I can't tell you, man. I think it's the, blank. I have no idea. I'm so stupid, man. It's crazy, like, how sickness works on your brain. It's made me more anxious about stupid stuff, more forgetful and complacent. I have 500K on Ledger transfer to normal Yoroi wallet. Okay, just leaked customer information without phrase words while the community's scaring peoples. Your money on your Ledger is fine, man, as far as I know. As long as you haven't leaked your recovery phrase, you're fine. It's not like we're trying to scare people. Yeah, that's why I said Ledger database hack. Your data may have been compromised, right? There's a big difference between your money being compromised and your data, right? It is a big deal to have your data leaked, but your data is almost kind of like, your data is almost like, man, I'm being too, I don't know, I feel like I'm being too raunchy this episode, but your data is almost like your virginity, man. Once it's gone, it's gone, right? So personally, my data virginity has already been taken long ago. So to see another leak happen like this, it's like, and I'm sure many other people on the internet stay, and a lot of people don't even know their data's been leaked. I mean, Ledger's a big company. They're a company about security. So what you often see is people don't even know that they've been hacked. Click that link down below that I have down there. I can almost guarantee that the majority of people watching this have had their data leaked, unless you always just give false information. That link I have down there, it says, "Have I been pwned?" And you get on that website and you can actually search like something, your name or your email, and it'll show you every single website that has leaked your email and your password. It may blow your mind, because I did a lot of gaming in the past. Gaming's the worst, man, because you have to sign up for 50 different services just to play one game, right? So it's been bad. Liam said, "I can see the story happening in the future where a guy spends his entire stimulus on checks and crypto and makes $1 million." I actually I got $1,200 for my first stimulus check, and I put every single dollar in ADA. I felt a little funny doing it. It felt ironic. It felt like I was taking the government stimulus, like the printed dollar, and putting it back into like something that's almost inversing the dollar. It felt very edgy, but yeah, I'm happy I did it because ADA was pretty low back then. Jay Colkin said, "Hungover. I'm not hungover. I'm just sick. I'm not a big drinker myself. Not a big fan of it. I got a baby boy stomach." Michael said, "Can't wait for my 600. I'm spending it on hookers." Hey man, if you put it in ADA, it could be worth a lot more hookers one day. Steve J said, "Don't go gay, Pay. Better to be bi. Then you have more options." You're right, man. Nothing like more options. Yeah, I mean, it really wouldn't be a negative aspect, It's a woman's game nowadays, right? So I mean, if you were bi, then it would it wouldn't be a bad life, More options, You don't have to play the women's game. That's so funny to say. It sounds very I hate women. Braveheart Stakepool said, doing great, sir. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How am I doing while I'm sick? I'm feeling a little bit better today. Saturday, it was pretty mopey. I was seeing colors, but I'm doing better today. Throat just hurts still. Thanks. My point, not to judge you, just talking about others, scaring others. I appreciate you talk about this. Yeah, no problem, man. No, I didn't think that you took what I was saying as I was trying to scare you. But I just wanted to tell you that I was being very meticulous when I chose the words for this title as to not fearmonger, you know, because security is a very touchy thing. Yeah, everybody smash that like button. Like Steve said, man, I appreciate it, but smash that like button. Every like makes my throat feel better. Alexander said, no, that's not true. You have to differentiate your PlayStation data is leaked or the data that you own a lot of money. Well, the data that PlayStation collects and the data that Ledger collects, Alexander, is the exact same data. So what's the differentiation between them, right? Sugar said, Pay, did you smoke some purple? You sound relaxed, bruh. Nope, I'm just sick, man. I am a little bit relaxed, but yeah, I noticed I'm not getting very good viewers today. A lot of people are coming and leaving. You guys like my hypeness. You like me talking fast. It's funny. No, I'm just sick, man. I don't think I could smoke some Purple Bloom and get on a live stream. I feel like I'd be very anxious. Liam said, wow, appreciate the reply. That's awesome. It paid off. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it hasn't paid off yet. I haven't sold it, you know. So it never really prints. Never really prints until you sell it, you know. But got the ADA for it. Happy. Nothing wrong with some ADA backed by the US dollar. Not backed by it, but purchased with the US dollar. That wasn't mine. Tuomo said, as long as you don't reuse passwords, then most of the time it doesn't matter too much anyway if your data gets leaked. As long as you aren't stupid and click on links and everything gets sent. Yeah, but at the same time, I just still would like to be a private citizen. I mean, I guess I have a YouTube channel, so I'm not going to be a private citizen. But if you wanted to be a private citizen, you really can't because all of your data is leaked all the time. But I mean, I guess in the sheer numbers of it, you know, the odds of you being targeted out of that list is low. But I just still would like a world where my data is not compromised when I order a pizza. Alexander said, all kinds of things get compromised every second of the day. That's true, man. Ronnie said, you got the Rona? I tested negative, so I don't think I do, but who knows, man? Who knows? Lewis said, take a tequila shot for your throat. Trust me, it works. Yeah, I might fix my throat, but then my stomach would be like, what the hell did you do, man? What the hell? Gerald said, I worked for this Canon a couple of years back, and their employee info database was hacked recently. This is the second time. Insane. I mean, it's like every single company almost, it feels like. Crizzle said, is Charles going to give us a last Christmas gift? I don't know. I don't think so. I think his Christmas gift was going to be some Ethiopia deal or something, but it ended up getting delayed. Alexander said, because criminals are more interested in your address, if they know you only fly first class, then you play PlayStation. Well, I mean, a ledger hack's not going to really tell them if you fly first class, man. I'm sure there are some people with ledgers that don't have more than a few $100 in their ledger. You know, they just want to be part of the thing. It's all they can afford. But yeah, I mean, of course, criminals are going to be more interested in if you fly first class because you're going to have more money. But that doesn't mean someone who flies first class doesn't play PlayStation. I mean, I just feel like data breaches in general are bad, right? But it's not like Ledger has the amount of money you have, right? Jay Colkin said, do you know what projects are leading the way in Fund 2 vote-wise, or will we not know? I don't think we'll know, man. Yeah, I don't think we'll know. If I had to guess, I would say Liquid's probably killing it. I would hope that I'm doing well. If you guys like my podcast, make sure you vote yes. I don't know. It's a good question, man. I don't think there is a way to know. I wish we could. It'd be cool to kind of watch them head to head. Let me know if you guys voted yes in the podcast. Steve J said, appreciate the dedication to your audience. Sick and still showing up. Hey, man. I'll be here with the broken nose. I guess a broken nose is very debilitating. I'll be here with something broken. But thanks, man. No problem. I enjoy them, man. I really do. It's like, I mean, I could say like, oh, I'm showing up because I have to do this for you guys, but I have a lot of fun doing these. I do. You know, I've been laying in bed for 2 days, so. I've watched a lot of cryptocurrency founder interviews, or is it me, or just Charles Hoskinson seems smarter and more trustworthy than the rest? Very reassured jumping fiat into ADA after each AMA. I'm not sure. I don't really have a good smart meter, you know, Liam. I could tell Charles is very smart, you know, but I try to not get too far into the fanboy realm because I feel like that's when you kind of lose insight on the fundamentals, you know. But yeah, he's definitely a smart dude. After I talked to him, it was funny. Like, I felt like I was getting a little bit in the fanboy realm until I actually talked to him. And then when I finally talked to him, it just went out the window. I'm like, he's very smart and clearly, you know, and I look up to him, but he's not like, I don't know. To me, it just took that out. It was pretty funny. Frank F said, how far do you think we are from the Cardano roadmap completion? I would say a year. Richard said the COVID test in the nose. I mean, it could be 6 months, you know, but I'm thinking a year. Could be wrong though, man. They've had a lot of momentum lately. Stuff's been getting done pretty fast. Richard said the COVID test is in the nose. It is. I've gotten one. I've gotten 2 actually. Goguen at March start testnet, not for mainnet, for smart contract. Any good news? Good news is the EVM testnet started. So the Solidity devs can now start building in the testnet. That's pretty good news, man. Goguen is not necessarily at March. Goggen's kind of multiple features. You know, you have the smart contracts, you have the native assets, you have the metadata, you have the token locking. The token locking is already here. The metadata is already here. The native tokens is going to be here in February, and smart contracts are going to be here in March or April. So Goggen's kind of already here in a way, you know. I know it's like a little bit of lip service, but it's not, you know. These things come in stages. You wouldn't want all these features at once because then you couldn't really pick the bugs out. Lewis said, if by next year we've printed more than $7 trillion, what do you think the dollar will be worth in late 2021? I don't know, man. I'm not a big dollar all-knowing God, man, but there's really 2 things, at least in my brain, that come to the value of the dollar, right? It's faith in the government and then also the total supply, you know. So the total supply, last time I read this year, has increased by 35% just this year, right? So if the second part, where I said faith in the dollar or faith in the government or faith in the country, if that didn't matter, then we would see the dollar be inflated 35%, right? But this year, I almost feel like people have lost a little bit more faith in institutions, a little bit more faith in the government, lost a little bit more faith in the voting process, right? So maybe the dollar will be worth even less than the inflation rate of 35%. Or everything could just go back to normal and people could have more faith and the dollar deflates, you know. Do I think that's likely? No, but it's a possibility, man. It's all probability, you know. Mr. Mulkey Checker said, hey, Big Pay, what's up, man? Professor said, do you have your private keys now? No, they don't have your private keys now. You're okay, man. Hooten said, someone I know got an email with his address in the email saying that they know where he lives. If they threaten him, if he does not pay $500, they'll show up at his address and either steal or harm him. Houghton, can you send me some proof of that? It's not that I don't trust you, man, but that's pretty suspect. Can you send me a screenshot of that email, maybe blur out the address? I would really love to see that, but that's really scary, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Mr. Mulkey Checker said, do you know according to which parameters do they scale up? And also, I think that I don't know, when someone sends a threat like that, you know what you say? Show up to my fucking house, or my freaking house. Just show up, man. Say hello to my Spaz 12 and my security cameras on the way in. You know, just make sure you're protected. You know, don't give in to people like that. Never send them money. Braveheart said more podcasts. What do you mean, man? Do you know according to which parameters do they scale up to the Catalyst fund size? There's no parameters that do it. It's all centralized right now. IOG's running the show. The next one's going to be worth a lot more. Like a lot more. Just join the combo. Will there be any negative effect on our wallets? It seems Charles is pretty upset about the known changes. Say a little bit more, Craig. Are you referring to the Ledger stuff? JD said, when will the interview with Charles be released? I've already released that interview. You can watch it. It wasn't really an interview. It was kind of just a chat. It was a few months ago. Mr. Multi-Checker said, thanks for the Liquid Live. It was really great and clarified some things up. Yeah, man, no problem. I really enjoyed it too. It clarified a lot of things in my head as well. That's insane, man. Lord said, just jumped on. Hope you feel better. Boss man, I got an email from Ledger about 2 hours ago. I'm affected, they say, with 272,000 people. It's insane, man. Class action. Steve J said, does anyone in here have crypto or follow other coin leaders? Just wondering if they put out as much content like the Charles AMAs or IOHK vids. That's a good question, Steve. It's a good question. I really do like the AMAs and the videos that IOHK put out. It really, I think it really adds to the community. Alexander said, your keys are safe. They are. As long as you don't share that recovery phrase. Steve J said, the dollar will be worth $1 in 2021. You're welcome. Exactly. Steve's got it figured out. J Money said, Proof of Africa made a great point that KEVM is cool, but don't expect a lot of projects to port over because the tools for Solidity devs aren't on Cardano. We need organic development more. I heard that when I was talking to Liquid, I was talking to Dwayne Cameron, the guy from Liquid. He said that you can actually use the Solidity tools on KEVM. So, Liam said, do you take CBD oil? I used to. I had in the past, yeah. Yeah, I used to have like full spectrum CBD juice. It was pretty good. It's a bit expensive though. I think the best stuff as far as CBD goes, especially for the price, is CBD flower. It's legal. It has the highest CBD per the price. You know, it's obviously full spectrum. The oil can get very pricey. Hudon said, yes, I can ask him to send it to me. Where do I send it to? Are you in the Discord server, man? I would love to see that. I don't mean to bother you. Let me send that over. Join this link and you can DM me on there. There you go. Steve said, the question is what assets or what will assets you want to buy cost in dollars next year? Every year assets value goes up because the dollar is going down. Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted to get property next year. I really wanted to kind of diversify into land, you know, just have some property. And I really was kind of expecting to see a big crash this next year, but I don't know if it's going to happen with all the printing. We just might see more inflation, and also kind of the big hubbub with everybody working from home, everybody moving. We might not see this crash, this bubble popping in the real estate market just yet, which is unfortunate, in my opinion. Julian said, "Hey, Pay, do you know what happened to Binance and Coinbase today?" I do not. I do not. Flyer Me said, "How many operators do you think will be running sidechains to support or to take advantage of the different things coming? Do you think that they're almost forced to so they can stay competitive?" I think they're forced to in a way, especially if the delegates are being paid for those coins, right? So let's think about it this way. If you make sure you guys like this, by the way, it's only 31 likes here. What the hell? But I think they'll be forced to in a way. Is imagine if you guys are all my delegates of Bloom, and you want to delegate to me, but I don't provide, say, liquid coin, right? But stake pool operator, I'll say Kaizen does. Then you're just going to stake with Kaizen, right? So there's a competitive aspect there. But also, if there's a financial incentive, I think operators will do it as well. And there also will be speculation. A lot of people in crypto are all speculators, right? So there will be people doing side chains and stuff that may not ever print. Braveheart Staple said, "Voted for the Aura podcast on Catalyst Voting. This community needs more podcasts like this. The information you give enriches the community." Thanks so much, man. I appreciate. Thank you for your vote. Flyer Me said, "Not as long as we have 0 rates." Yeah, not as long as we have 0 rates. You're right. Yep, you can get free money nowadays. Lord said, "Working remote is awesome. I can't go back to the office after this." It was a bit of a shift for me. I thought my whole life that I would love it, but there's something about being around people that makes me happy. I don't get that from working from home. And I'm normally pretty introverted too, so it's weird that just having the loss of the 3 people I talk to every day would have an impact. Joffrey Sharing said, "I've been getting phishing emails from people impersonating Ledger over the past couple of weeks." Yeah, I get those too, man. That's probably because I was leaked. J Money said, "The only 2 traditional assets going up is real estate and stocks, which is owned the majority by the top 10%. Tragic." It's not surprising. But I wouldn't say that. I mean, I guess they own the majority, but it's not just the top 10% that owns stocks. It's not true. I mean, you have 401ks, you have investment accounts. You know, the middle class owns a good bit of stocks, and also I feel like some young people do too. You know, with the introduction of Wall Street bets. You know, I know a lot of that stuff's options, but a lot of it is people owning stocks too. Yeah, they are taking. So Lord said, "Pay or the Catalyst team taking suggestions for features on the app like color coding or the things you already voted for." Yeah, they are taking suggestions. There's a way to actually submit those suggestions on Catalyst. Steve said, "I've been waiting for real estate crash for a couple years now. I also want to buy like 100 acres, still waiting." Yeah, I mean, dude, that would be a dream for me to have 100 acres. I would just love that. So with a little bit of land on, or not a little bit of land on it, but some trees, like a nice little forest. You know, nothing crazy, but just a place where I can go hunt mushrooms and hunt. Be a dream for me, man. Hoping that Biden winning the repubs will let it crash next year. With the market crash and the interest rates super low and crypto peaking, maybe be able to get some. You might be right, man. I hope so. Wired said they're going to keep kicking the old can down Wall Street. Yeah, they are. Check out that email real quick. All right, so I'm going to screen share this. This is really interesting, man. Thanks for sharing this, Huton. Below is an email I received today. No, I am not worried, but seriously, F you, Ledger. I now get 3 to 4 emails a day and 5 to 6 text messages a day. Go to hell. Hello, my name. I've recently become aware of your cryptocurrency holdings. I also live in my city, and I want I also know that you live at my address. Redacted. I'm not afraid to invade your home. I don't want to make this any harder than it has to be. I'm offering you $500. Shouldn't be too much considering the recent pump to leave you alone. If not, I'm not afraid to show up when you least expect it and see how my wrench works against your face. Or maybe even wait until you leave your home and take your belongings while you're not there to call the police. I'll be waiting for my money and watching you till then. Payment with a payment address. See, screw this guy, man. Screw that shit. This is why you take some of your crypto gains, right? If you live in America, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You take some of your crypto gains and you go out, and if you don't know anything about guns, you need to educate yourself, obviously, right? You need to understand how to use it, maybe take a class, but you need to do it immediately. And you go out there and you say, what gun do I purchase for home defense? And you speak to the gun guy, and he'll let you know. And you install cameras in your house, and you have a dog that will alert you and give you enough time to grab said gun and load it. And just don't play around with stuff like that. You know, you have to defend yourself. You know, this isn't a world where you can wait 20 minutes for the police to arrive. Haywood said, stocks are owned by more than half the population in the U.S. Yeah. So yeah, not just the top 10%. I understand that. It's a hard thing, right? Because I understand that rich people own a lot of assets and stocks, and that's kind of why you have this big wealth distribution, you know, when you print a bunch of dollars and you give the majority of it to the companies, and those companies use it to invest in the stock market. And because you're printing the dollars in the first place, you're going to have this wealth gap continually increasing as assets inflate. But at the same time, middle class America does own a bit of assets, whereas rich people own more assets, I understand. But it's not just the rich people. XXX said, not owning assets is like playing Monopoly without buying any houses and just passing to take the 200. Yeah, exactly. Noble Jorno said, you can buy 100 acres of hunting in Wyoming for like $150K. 150K ADA. That's a good deal, man. It's a good deal. Liam said, I'll look into that CBD flower. Thanks. No problem, Liam. The website that I really like, great people over there, man. All of their stuff is tested. They give you the lab docs for each individual thing that you buy. Make sure it's legal in your state first, but it's fieldsofhemp.com. I love them, man. Love them. J Money said the majority of the stock market isn't owned by the middle class. Yeah, I never said the majority of the stock market is owned by the middle class. I said the majority of the middle class owns stocks. It's a big difference. Fly Over Me said, is there anyone else having a problem with setting up Catalyst voting system? Keep getting the error message, not enough in my wallet at the time, or is it set up something like that? Let me read that again. I have heard about people getting that error message. Let me see. I'll send you a link to the chat that can help you, man. You might be screwed. I got to be honest with you. You might be screwed. I don't do ADA price predictions. I'm not a genie. If I was, I'd be rich. I always say this. If I could do ADA price predictions, these would be called. This is so funny. They would be like you know how you guys see those Charles AMA giveaways? That's what these would be, but it would be real. If I could predict ADA price, I would just trade the fluctuations, and I would just get on here and say, you get 1,000 ADA, and you get 100,000 ADA, you know, but the world isn't that nice. Zelda Steakpool said, what's up? Love the content. What's up, man? Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm whispering today. It's Big Pay ASMR. I'm a little sick. I've been drinking water, eating cough drops to get over it. Man, my throat's getting progressively worse. Probably gonna have to hop off here in about 3 minutes. Okay, so what is the single most exciting ADA event you participate in 2021, or I anticipate? Native tokens launch, man. And I just cannot wait to have different tokens in my address. It's gonna be hype. Time to set up Cardano community compound on a 500 acre ranch in Wyoming. Who's in? Shoot, if land's that cheap, we can get a lot more. Malky Dot said, in Canada, if you harm or kill a stealer or an attacker in your house, you can go to jail. It's probably like that in some states, Malky Dot. But that's why you have to live in the right state. I don't know if you guys have been seeing my... I'm definitely not right? But I have some right ideologies. You guys are probably seeing that a little more. Yeah, COVID changed my mind about a lot of things. I think it did that for a lot of people. It pushed you a little further one way, that's for sure. That's crazy though, man. I just could not imagine living in a country or a state in which I can't defend myself, because this is where I tell you I got pushed right a little bit. You can only rely on yourself in this world, nobody else, right? And it's easy when you live in a city to think like, oh, well, I have these big institutions all around me that help me and educate my children and help me and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, man, the only person that's gonna save you and your family that night's gonna be you. You know. That's why I just could not imagine living somewhere. Zelda Steak Pool said, maybe you got COVID from the NY trip. No, I don't think so. Somebody else in my house was actually already sick. They got a COVID test and came back negative, and then I got a COVID test and it came back negative. So I don't think that it's COVID, and I don't think I got it from the trip. One thing I think that the NY trip could have happened is I had very little sleep on the way home. My flight was very early, and I stayed up pretty late. I couldn't sleep, so I was running on about 4 hours all day. And I normally sleep a lot, so the 4 hours, I think, could have lowered my immune system. Well, I didn't mean that COVID polarized the country. I meant that, like, I guess it did, right? It polarized, it pushed people further in each direction, but I still feel like I'm in the middle, but it kind of cemented your beliefs, right? If you didn't know they were there, they're there now, right? Because people react certain ways in certain situations, and that doesn't come out until the situations arise. And the situation arose, you know. No, it's blurry behind me on purpose. I set that up. I actually just bought a new camera today. Sion, I'm actually just about to log off, so just watch the beginning again if you want to understand what happened. But yeah, I have an RTX card that actually blurs behind me. Watch, you can probably see the blur take effect if I do some weird stuff, right? So if I put my finger next to this plant, maybe you can see the plant. Yeah, that's ray tracing CUDA cores for you. I like it blurry in the background. You know, if I had a beautiful art show for you behind me, I wouldn't blur it, but no, I live in my room, man. Haywood said, COVID didn't change anything in my life or any of my right-wing extremist friends. Well, okay, maybe I'm just speaking, maybe I was generalizing a bit too much. For people that, how should I say this? People that were in the middle, right? STJN said, give us a tour of your room. It's not fancy, man. I actually am doing I'll make in one of my AMAs, I'll do a little setup where I'll show you guys my stuff. But I'm actually getting a couple new things. I'm getting a new mouse pad, and then I got the new camera, And then I'm going to sell my keyboard and get one that's a different color because it doesn't match. And keyboards hold value really well. Oh, you're being... Okay. Okay. That's fair. I bet. So what happened to your right-wing extremist friends? How did they go? Kritzel said, you're going to make Bloom coins. What is going to be the purpose of that? So the Bloom coins are actually going to be... yeah, I do need to go rest, Ed. The Bloom coins are going to be paid to Bloom delegates for staking with Bloom. And I'm going to have kind of like a little... I'm going to design the whole thing myself, you know. But I'm going to have like a little incentive scheme and a reward scheme behind it. It's going to be like a fun project for me, and then I'm going to be able to let you guys purchase some stuff with Bloom tokens, like maybe Cardano shirts or maybe Bloom shirts or maybe real Bloom tokens, you know, or just anything I think of. You know, I have to design this. I want to give back to you guys, so I have to design this like sustainable monetary like incentive scheme, but also kind of, and then also I'll let you guys stake the Bloom tokens, you know, so it's going to be pretty cool. STGAN said, are you a gamer? Yeah, I would say I am. I haven't really gamed too much in the past year. I've been too busy. But in my past life, yeah, I was a gamer, bro. I was a gamer. Ray C said, hi, Big Peg. It's lots of rest. Hope you get well soon. Thanks, Ray. I really appreciate that, man. I hope you get lots of rest. You need that even when you're not sick. Not sick. Steve J said, we're all Americans. Let's get back to that. Forget that all my side, that side BS. It's Americans. That they have crypto and the ones that need to wake up. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you, Steve. And when I say I have some right beliefs, it doesn't mean I'm on the right, right? I'm not someone who takes sides. I'm not a tribalist, right? I'm not even, I was going to say I'm a Cardano tribalist, right? I'm not, right? Because if someone presents me facts, then I'll change my mind, right? And my ideas don't fall with the tribe, you know. And I wish a lot of people thought about that. But I think one of the issues, Steve, is a lot of people don't have the time, right? I mean, I don't have the time to think about every issue individually. So it's often I don't have the time to think, nor do I want to think about this stuff. So I often relate with this tribe. I have these few ideologies that I believe in so much. And my tribe believes in those ideologies so much that all those other ideologies within that must be true as well, and I must follow those. I think that's a big part of the issue, you know, is just kind of time or a lack of interest to do it. You know, it's not like I have the time to research all those, but I'm not picking a side at least. Jay Colkin said, in Canada, you can also self-defend yourself. Not sure what the other Canadian is saying. It maybe depends on where you're at. I don't know anything about Canada, but for example, in the United States, it depends on the state that you're in. You know, if you're in a wrong state, then maybe you can go to jail for something you wouldn't in the other state. But I'm going to go ahead and log out. Oh, I got Gaia Stake Pool. Glad to hear you don't have COVID. Hope you get up or caught up on rest and feel better soon. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that too. But I hope you guys all have a good rest of your week. Should have a weekly recap coming Friday. We may not have a Cardano or podcast this week. I think that will be Christmas. Yeah, I think that's Christmas, so we're not going to have one this week. Yep, so we're not going to have a Cardano or podcast this week, but I will have the weekly recap. I got some really juicy stuff cooking in the background. It might not happen, but I'm really trying to make it happen, so we'll see. But I hope you guys all have a good rest of your week. I hope happy holidays, everybody, for whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. It's that time. But yeah, see you. Gotta end it over here. Oopsies.